At Harvard University's annual lecture on global economics, the hall was filled with polished scholars, donors, and top students. In the back row sat Emma Ramirez, an 18-year-old from South Boston. She wasn't a student but the daughter of Carlos Ramirez, a janitor who had served Harvard for over 2 decades. Emma had grown up cleaning lecture halls alongside her father, silently absorbing knowledge while sweeping around professors' feet. Her presence that evening was a quiet reward from a faculty friend of her father's. She wore a plain blue dress and held a small notebook packed with ideas from years of silent learning. As the event began, Dr. Arthur Blake, a senior professor known for his ego, noticed Emma in the audience. With a mocking smile, he asked loudly, "Excuse me, miss, are you lost? This isn't the admissions office or the janitor's lounge." A few chuckles followed from nearby seats. Emma stood slowly, calmly met his eyes, and replied, "No, sir. I came to learn something. But if you're teaching, I'll lower my expectations." The room went quiet. Everyone stared. The professor turned red, not expecting a response that sharp from someone he assumed didn't belong. Rather than sit back down, Emma raised her hand confidently and asked a question that took the panel by surprise. She spoke about the effects of compound interest on poor families and how economic theories often ignored real-life suffering. Her question was clear, informed, and directly challenged the panel's assumptions. Dr. Marianne Ellis, a Nobel Prize-winning economist and the event's guest speaker, leaned forward with interest. "That's the smartest question I've heard all day," she said warmly. "Would you like to join us on stage for a few minutes?" The audience gasped as Emma nodded. Emma stepped onto the stage with steady steps. The same girl mocked moments earlier now stood beside world-class economists. She turned to the audience and calmly explained how she'd learned economics from the back of classrooms while cleaning them. She'd studied online, taken notes, and applied theories to real experiences from her neighborhood. Her voice was steady, her logic sound. The crowd listened, stunned. Her story was one of quiet struggle and fierce intelligence. Dr. Ellis smiled proudly. The auditorium, moments ago filled with whispers and laughter, now sat in complete silence, captivated by a janitor's daughter. Emma stood on stage, facing a sea of scholars, professors, and donors. The same room that had just laughed now waited in silence. She took a breath and began to speak not from theory, but from experience. She explained how her father worked night shifts and how she often cleaned classrooms with him. Instead of listening to music or scrolling her phone, she listened to lectures. She studied free ebooks on economics, watched online seminars, and compared them with real-life struggles from her neighborhood. The more she learned, the more she questioned why the academic world ignored voices like hers. She spoke with calm precision, presenting her own ideas about economic development in low-income communities. Her theories weren't from textbooks. They were built from lived reality. She offered 3 practical suggestions to reduce generational debt in underprivileged areas, each one backed with data and real stories. The panelists began to nod. Audience members leaned forward. Dr. Ellis, still smiling, occasionally jotted notes. Emma's voice never wavered, even as she addressed inequalities embedded in systems that the very university upheld. She wasn't afraid. She knew what she was talking about. And now, so did everyone else in the room. As Emma finished, the room burst into applause, not polite claps, but a full standing ovation. People who had once dismissed her were now on their feet. Even Dr. Blake, the professor who mocked her, avoided her gaze, his pride clearly shaken. Dr. Ellis approached her with a handshake and a hug. Moments later, a woman from the admissions office asked Emma to stay behind after the event. That same night, She was offered a fast-tracked full scholarship to Harvard. News of her bold moment quickly spread across campus and even made its way into local headlines the next morning. Months passed. Emma became a Harvard student known by professors and peers alike. But she never forgot where she came from. With support from faculty, she launched a nonprofit called Street Scholars to help students from low-income families access mentorship and education. Her father still worked as a janitor, but now with pride unmatched. Every time she passed him in the hallway, they exchanged a simple smile. It wasn't just a dream come true, it was a statement. Emma hadn't just silenced the room that night. She had opened a door for thousands of unheard voices to finally be seen.